It's the middle of a brutal New York summer. The kind of heat that clings to your skin and keeps tempers on edge. But heat isn't the only thing boiling over in the city. Crime is spiking. Robberies, assaults, murders, all on the rise. Enter Detective LaPerle. She's seen a lot, but this scene is different. The victim hasn't just been killed. They've been dissected, carefully, surgically. Some parts of the body are missing too. A jaw, a rib, a finger, as if someone were collecting trophies. LaPerle and the forensic tech are investigating, trying to piece together the motive. But something odd happens. LaPerle turns to speak to a tech, but he's gone. That's because he was never part of the team. It was Peter Parker in disguise, slipping in to grab intel for the Bugle. On his way out, Peter calls J. Jonah Jameson. As usual, Jameson is fishing for bad news. The more shocking, the better. Peter casually suggests, how about a murder? But before he can get back to the office, he spots a robbery in progress. Instinct kicks in. Spider-Man gives chase. He figures he can cut them off at the next block. But a group of kids is playing in the street, right in the robber's path. He swoops in and saves them, but it costs him precious time. Meanwhile, the robbers return to their hideout. One of them starts planning. We split the cash and lay low for 2 weeks. No contact. But when he turns around, the others are dead on the floor. The robber freezes, terrified. Behind him, red eyes glowed in the dark. Before he can react, his face is ripped off. A blade follows, plunging deep into his back. The predator lifts the robber's flayed skin and holds it to its face like a mask. This isn't a standard hunt. No spines, no skulls. Something darker is at play. Spider-Man says goodbye to the kids and their parents, finally arriving at the scene, but it's too late. The carnage is already done. He calls Jonah again. It's worse than we thought. We've got a serial killer. The humidity has become unbearable. With every air conditioning unit in the city running at full capacity and every fan on high. Peter is at the Daily Bugle with Jameson, who is reviewing his article, when suddenly a massive power outage occurs. Down in the subway tunnels, a train grinds to a halt. People are stranded in the dark. Mary Jane is among them. Panic spreads. A claustrophobic girl starts to lose it, but MJ steps in, flicking on her phone light and telling her to look for relief. The girl calms as she peers out into the tunnel darkness, but something stares back. A face. It's the predator. Jonah intends to share the story on social media, but Peter informs him that it's pointless. The power is out, and Con Ed estimates it could be days before service is restored. So Peter devises a new plan to reactivate the old printing press and sell actual newspapers. The Bugle team takes to the streets, selling fear to the people. Meanwhile, Detective LaPerle appeared suddenly and is not pleased. Peter Parker has published unauthorized photographs from the crime scene, and she demands answers. But Peter has already left and is heading to Mary Jane's place to check on her, but she isn't home. Little does he know that MJ is in grave danger. Elsewhere in the city, 2 petty thieves try to rob a Daily Bugle vendor. An arrow rips through one thief's hand. A shadowy figure steps into the scene.
Kill him!
An arrow slams into the other thief's forehead. Craven the Hunter steps forward. This city can be a dangerous place, especially in the dark. But before you run back to your nest, little mouse, and you should run. What was it you were saying about this predator? 8.5 million people live in New York City. Now, the whole city is shrouded in darkness on the hottest night of the year. Power surges and sparks explode from the grid, blazing hot as blood, hot as hell. Utility crews rush in from all directions, scrambling to fix the failing system. Across the city, a worker drops into a manhole, desperate to restore the flow of electricity. But he doesn't know the true kind of darkness they're up against. The worker edges deeper into the tunnels, sparks crackling from damaged wires overhead. "Hello?" he calls, voice echoing in the dark. A faint, panicked voice answers.
"Help!"
He moves quickly toward the sound, and once again, a cry for help pierces the air. He glances toward the subway car. Light from his helmet sweeps across the underground tracks as he shouts, "You all trapped in there? The whole city's shut down." He marches forward, determined to pry open the train door. The worker staggers forward, his boot plunging into a thick crimson pool. "Oh fuck," he gasps as ripples shiver through the blood beneath him. From deeper inside, a desperate voice cries out, "Help! Help me!" He shouts back, panic rising. "I'm coming!" As soon as he enters the cabin, his helmet light cuts through the darkness. The sight before him freezes him in place. Bodies, stripped to muscle, hanging upside down, bound in rope, dripping blood into the dark red-stained floor. He will not soon forget this sight, or will he? The worker turns to a shadowy figure emerging from the darkness. "You, what happened? What happened here?" the worker stammers. "Help me," it repeats, peeling away the flesh and revealing a glistening face of horror that lunges forward. The worker's scream echoes as MJ and the girl see their chance and escape while he is distracted. Peter is at his apartment. Suddenly, Peter thought it was MJ and approached the door and opened it. To his surprise, it was not MJ, but it was Detective LaPearl. Peter shuts the door fast. "I'm Detective LaPearl," she says firmly. "But you already know that, don't you?" she adds. Detective LaPearl pounds on the door. "Parker, open the door." "Are you mad?" "You seem mad," Peter calls from inside. LaPearl's jaw tightened. She was furious. Peter had taken pictures of the crime scene and was now acting strangely, making him a suspect in her eyes. "That was my crime scene you took photos of, and you're sure acting like a man guilty of something. So now I'm starting to wonder, should I be more than mad?" she adds. Her voice sharpens. "Did you kill them? Do I need to kick down this door? Or are you going to open up?" From behind cover, Peter shoots back. "Why would I kill them and then publish an article about it? Sickos love attention," she replies. LaPearl slides her jacket back, revealing a gun. "There are more victims. There's a second crime scene." "That's a damning thing to say," LaPearl replies. She kicks hard at the lock, splintering the wood. Peter admits, "I'm sorry for not calling it in. I didn't mention it in the article either." "And why is that?" she demands. "Because I thought he might come back," Peter says. "Why would he come back?" she challenges. "You tell me. Isn't there a whole return to the scene of the crime kind of thing?" Peter shoots back. LaPearl bursts in. "He didn't just leave behind a mess. He left behind a big pile of cash," Peter blurts out. Before leaving, Peter adds, "Check the underground garage near Morton and Washington." Swinging high above the city, Spider-Man moves through the sweltering night. There was a killer on the loose, and a cop was on his tail. To make matters worse, the power was out. The temperature soared into the triple digits, and amidst all this chaos, MJ was missing. There was so much going on. But little did he know that an alien spacecraft was hovering above him. Peter's spider sense made his brain feel like a hot itch, but he couldn't pinpoint any one threat. The whole city felt alive with danger, both above and below. Spidey swings into the public library. Peter had to trust that MJ could take care of herself and focus on the real heat of the night. Something sinister was out there, hunting all of them one by one. As Peter is collecting information to solve this riddle of flesh and blood, Craven was investigating the second bloodbath. "I have a confession. I have been bored. So very, very bored." Craven the hunter approaches, looking at the corpses. He says, "But now, I think I'm not so bored, because you, whoever or whatever you are worthy of Craven the hunter." Craven smiles. "You don't care about money. You care about flesh and bone." As Craven investigated for clues, he noticed a large spider web strung across the metal beams above. It's some sort of trap set by Spider-Man. "Don't move." Craven turns his head slightly. It's LaPearl pointing a gun at him. Craven wisely told her to back off. As for LaPearl, she wants to take him for custody. Craven stayed still as she approached him. In an instant, Craven lashes out and grabs her hand. LaPearl fired shots at him, but missed. Craven threw her aside, causing her to crash into a table and land in the trap. A web above shivers down, making her entangle. Craven leaps across rooftops under the moonlight, saying to himself, "If Spider-Man knows about the creature, then this is more than a hunt." Craven grins fiercely, lunging forward. It is a race. Inside the library, Spider-Man has found information about these massacres, some textual and photographic proofs. MJ and the girl moved through the darkness. Now that they have come far enough, MJ decided to turn the flashlights on. The beam reveals a ragged, bearded man in a knit cap who recoils from the brightness. He suddenly lunges, covering their mouth with his hand, and whispers to stay quiet or he will come. MJ asks what was the thing they saw in the train. The man asks them to stay quiet and follow him for answers. The man leads the two girls into a cavernous space. Mary Jane raises her phone, its light revealing a grotesque sight. Walls and ceilings strung with bones, twisted displays of stitched flesh, skulls, and skeletal arrangements. All around them are old and young, weak and strong, every gender, every ethnicity. The only thing the victims have in common is that they are dead. One towering display looms ahead. A skeletal figure bound with bone and skin, surrounded by smaller, grotesque trophies, with a throne at the center. This is not a hunter's trophy room. It's a chaotic collection filled with cruelty and madness. At the Daily Bugle, Peter enters Jameson's office, carrying a stack of old books. He presents old reports and photographs dating back to 1945. In times of war, in times of plague, in times of drought, whenever things get intense, dangerously intense, this kind of thing happens, Peter explains. Despite his efforts to convince Jameson, he shrugs it off as a conspiracy theory. Parker says this has been going on for hundreds of years, all around the globe. As he was talking, Peter noticed a flock of pigeons flying away from the window. Peter moved to the window, opened it, and looked outside. Jameson is worried that Peter is losing his grip on reality. Outside, a massive, bird-like craft looms in the sky. Before the power went out, Peter saved the story about the killings to the Daily Bugle cloud. The photograph of the crime scene triggered an algorithm that had been waiting for exactly such a visual signature. A signal was sent out. A hunting party was dispatched. 3 predators emerged atop the massive ship, ready to hunt the one who hunts without honor. At the Daily Bugle, the power is out. Peter moves quietly through the darkened newsroom, urging Jameson to stay silent. Suddenly, the electricity surges back on. Jameson bursts in, frustrated but immediately fired up by the return of power. To him, this is the perfect storm for news. Blackouts, heat waves, and even a serial killer on the loose. Peter tries to pull Jonah away, insisting they need to go, but Jameson is focused on chasing the next big headline. High above the city, the predators gather on a rooftop, their weapons and armor gleaming in the neon lights. They prepare their lines, ropes coiled in their hands, ready to descend. With fluid, predatory movements, they leap from the ledge, swinging down the side of the towering building, their silhouettes cut against the skyline, descending toward the streets below, like hunters closing in on their prey. Inside the Bugle, Peter tries to hurry Jameson to the elevator, but before they can make it far, the windows shatter as the predators crash through the glass, weapons drawn, filling the newsroom with chaos. The sound of breaking glass echoes through the building. Peter tenses, knowing exactly what it means. Jameson yells for Parker, but Peter says he will meet him downstairs, then heads off to confront the threat himself. The predators move carefully through the wreckage of the Bugle office, their heavy steps crunching over broken glass. In a quiet corner, Peter pulls off his shirt, revealing the red and blue beneath. Spider-Man is ready to step in. One of the hunters scans the room. The predators exchange signals, their guttural clicks filling the air as they prepare for the fight they know is coming. The predators reach what they were searching for, a wall covered in clues, a blood trail mapped out across the city. They are not here to hunt humans. They are here for one of their own. Reports of missing children, brutal murders, and bloody massacres point to a single outcast, a Yautja with no clan, no honor, no code, the one the humans call Skinner, a killer who has stained the city with his mark, disgracing his entire kind. One predator tears a piece of evidence from the board, studying the symbol left behind. But before they can move further, a strand of webbing suddenly snatches it away. Spider-Man has arrived. Spider-Man drops into the room, blocking the predators from their evidence. Before he can even get a word out, blades come flying. A smart disc slices across his thigh, tearing through his suit and drawing blood. Pain surges through him as the predators close in. Spider-Man weaves between strikes, kicking and dodging to avoid being overwhelmed. But the hunters press their relentless attack as he fights through his wounds. The Bugle has become a battleground, and Spider-Man finds himself outnumbered against the deadliest warriors in the galaxy. 2 utility workers were repairing a transformer on the rooftop. One of them said he had the transformer running again, and that it should restore power. Suddenly, an arrow struck the main box, causing it to spark violently. The transformer then exploded with a loud blast, knocking the workers back. Perched high above New York City, Craven sits on a gargoyle, his gaze fixed on the skyline, illuminated by the fiery glow of chaos. His rifle and spear are ready at his side. He deliberately aims to shroud the city in darkness because he knows that if word spreads about the true horrors unfolding here, the Avengers will arrive, and he doesn't want that. He wants to ensure that no one interferes. Leaping from the rooftop, he shouts, "I want this hunt all to myself," as he descends into the fray with a savage grin. Craven knew this would take time and patience, because this predator was not his standard prey. Over the last few days, the crime scenes had ranged from a nursing home in Harlem to the tiger habitat at the Bronx Zoo. A grizzly haunts rivers during the salmon runs, and a crocodile sinks below the surface of a watering hole frequented by a gazelle. But for Skinner, there is no such specificity to his taste, making him harder to anticipate. New York is a city of eyes, windows, and cameras. No movement goes unnoticed, no shadow ignored. Yet, Craven knows something critical. If this new predator has been hunting and killing across the boroughs, and not a single eye has caught it, then the truth must lie elsewhere, which means the beast isn't moving above the ground, but it's burrowed beneath the city, slithering through the tunnels and forgotten passageways. Craven's instincts are sharper. It's like a hungry spider, scrambling through the city's basement, unseen and untracked. Craven, the hunter, is poised to descend after it. Below New York City, Mary Jane holds a light as she guides the terrified girl. The homeless man tells them, "Sometimes it's safer down here than up there." They huddle together, unsure of what to do, but the man sharply hushes them, warning them to stay quiet. Taking the lead, the man moves quickly through the tunnels with Mary Jane and the girl close behind. He reminds them that noise travels far and fast. Suddenly, a call for help echoes from the darkness. The man explains that the creature's cries for help were simply a tactic to trick its prey. As they move on, MJ realizes the passage goes down and not up to the surface. She confronts him, but the man guides them even deeper, insisting they must hide first. They pass through a corridor crawling with rats, fear mounting as the monster draws near. Then, instead of helping them escape, the homeless man betrays Mary Jane and the girl, shoving them down into the rat-infested pit below. Or is it possible they were meant to go there? Mary Jane and the girl crash into the pit swarming with rats. They scream in terror as the rodents crawl over them, biting and clawing. The mass of rats shrieks loudly, filling the tunnel with piercing screeches. Buried in the swarm, the two women struggle, overwhelmed as the chaos echoes through the dark underground. The predator looms over the swarm of rats, its claws outstretched, an ominous presence filling the tunnel. The homeless man, caught off guard, is impaled through the chest by the creature's blade. With his last breath, he urges the others to stay down and safe as the predator looms over his prey. The hunting party may have come for Skinner, but Spider-Man catches their attention. They find him entertaining, and the fight begins. Spider-Man springs into action, striking one of the hunters hard. He moves fast, webbing and flipping around as he takes down one after another. Though there are only 3 predators, their advanced weapons make it feel like he's fighting a whole army. Spider-Man locks his focus, ready for the deadly fight ahead. Spider-Man narrowly dodges a plasma beam and uses his webs to rip the predator's helmet off. The predator screeches in rage, baring its monstrous mandibles as it lunges at him. Realizing the danger he has unleashed, Spider-Man hesitates, then quickly offers the helmet back. However, the predator shows no interest in mercy. With its wrist blades extended, he is ready to tear him up. 2 predators close in on Spider-Man. He fires webs, splattering both of their faces and blinding them. With a swift move, he smashes their heads together. Both collapse, leaving him standing tall. That makes 2 down. Danger's not over yet. Jameson watches the Bugle Tower. An explosion tears the night apart. Flames roar, glass raining down. A body wrapped in a web is hurled through the window, crashing down toward Jameson. Just before impact, Detective LaPearl leaps in, pushing him out of harm's way. They hit the ground hard, but are alive. She helps him to his feet and steadies him. With sharp eyes, she asks why chaos always seems to follow Peter Parker. Jameson holds his head in frustration over the destruction. Detective LaPearl walks through the rubble next to him. They notice the cocoon beginning to move. Suddenly, claws slash through the debris. A predator bursts out, roaring in rage. Darkness takes over New York City. From the sewers, rats swarm into the streets, spilling out into the blackness of the night. Mary Jane fights through the horde, dragging her friend back to her feet. Together, they run, trying to escape the devil beneath. Skinner emerges, his body draped in the skins of his victims. He stalks forward, each step heavy and deliberate. His face twists with hunger. This Yautja does not hunt for honor, it hunts for fear. As he closes in, reaching to rip the girls apart, an explosion tears through the building, cutting him off mid-strike. Skinner is distracted, sensing the plasma burner of a nearby ship. Unlike other Yautja, he is an outcast, despised and targeted, but he knows how to survive. He rushes toward the source of the explosion. The girls are left wondering if they are finally safe. As MJ stands near the manhole, a hand suddenly grabs her ankle. Out of the darkness steps Craven, gripping his spear and demanding,
"Where is the predator?"
Outside the premises of the Daily Bugle, Jameson and Detective La Pearl are taken by surprise as the hunter bursts out from the silk cocoon. The predator roars and lashes out, sending La Pearl flying aside. Jameson rushes toward the creature, only to be thrown into the air. They soon realize that this monster is connected to the recent killings. However, they will soon realize that they were wrong. Suddenly, a blade pierces through the predator, green blood spilling out. Skinner has caught him off guard. The hunter collapses, mortally wounded. The true monster stands revealed. Skinner, the killer of prey and predators alike. An explosion collapses the newsroom. Inside, Spider-Man dives into the chaos as predators attack, electricity crackling from their weapons. He swings between them, dodging blows, webbing them up one after another. But the hunters aren't here for him. They only want Skinner's head. Spider-Man, caught in the middle, struggles to keep the destruction under control, webs snapping across the wreckage as he is blasted through the windows into the night. Skinner realizes his best chance for survival is to evade the predators rather than confront them. By destroying their ship, the hunters will be trapped here with him, lost in the dark maze of the city he knows so well. But while Skinner is focused on the Yautja, he doesn't realize that another hunter is already stalking him. Craven is here for the most dangerous game. He has hunted every predator on this planet. Now his blades clash with the aliens, each strike splattering blood, green from the Yautja, red from himself. Both weapons are stained with the fury of the fight. The beast snarls, lunging in close, but Craven is relentless. He drives his blade forward, overpowering the hunter. With a final, savage stroke, he takes the upper hand and severs its head from its shoulders. The foul beast collapses. Craven, bloodied but triumphant, stands tall. Craven roared, his primal cry echoing through the city as he held the severed head of the fallen beast high, its blood still dripping from his blade and body. But as his voice fades, another sound rises, a beeping sound. The predator has one final weapon, a self-destruct device that is counting down. This device can destroy half the city in flames and devastation. Spider-Man hauls himself onto the rooftop despite his broken ribs. He survived the plasma caster. Peter feels a sense of danger as the countdown begins. Spider-Man asks Craven to cut off his hand. The severed hand drops to the rooftop, the detonator still clutched tight in its dead grip. Spider-Man quickly moves in, securing the alien weapon with his webs, desperate to move the detonator before the city is lost. Spider-Man moves quickly, the Predator's bomb tightly wrapped in his webbing, though he knows it won't be enough to stop it. Below, Mary Jane calls out for him, but her voice can't reach him. Her memory drives him forward as he pushes the bomb away from the city. In that moment, Peter makes his choice to sacrifice himself to protect everyone else. Spider-Man swings under the bridge, gripping the unstable device in his hands. He drops it into the river, bracing himself for the aftermath. A massive explosion erupts, lighting up the sky and shaking the bridge with a thunderous blast. Craven reflects that he always thought his blade would end Spider-Man, but admits his recent fight was still a worthy death. Just as he accepts it, something strange stirs, and another predator suddenly emerges. Hurt but still standing strong, Craven roars in defiance, thrilled to see more opponents to hunt. Craven endures a fierce attack from the predator. Despite the pain, he challenges the creature, saying he wants to die only at the hands of a true hunter. The predator grabs him by the throat, ready to finish him off. JJ and Laperal, discuss the chaotic situation involving a serial killer suspect who claims to be an alien targeted by an interstellar hit squad. A citywide blackout has occurred, and there is no evidence to support their story. Suddenly, a noise coming from an alley catches their attention, prompting Laperal and Jonah to investigate. The beast still clings to its life. As they approached, agents surrounded them, weapons ready. A man in white emerged, Dr. Abraham Cornelius, with a cold smile. He offered no mercy for disobedience, only silence, secrecy, and cooperation. Mary Jane breaks down at the fence, fearing the worst. Suddenly, she hears his voice. Spider-Man appears, injured but still standing. Relief floods her face. Back at the tower, Predator held Craven by the throat, poised to end his life. Another Predator arrived, carrying Skinner's lifeless body, and shared what it knew. Instead of killing Craven, the Predator released its grip on him. Confused, Craven watched as the Predator removed its mask, revealing its face, and then let out a powerful roar. The Predator takes out its blade, ready to finish him off. But the Predator carves a mark into Craven's forehead. It is the same mark left at crime scenes across the world for centuries, the mark of Skinner. Craven has not just been spared. He has been branded as the ultimate killer, a bloodied warrior. The Predator walks back to its ship, muttering,
"A great hunter, come and get it."
Craven follows them to the ship. The Predator's ship lifts off and disappears into the sky. Mary, Jane, and Peter watch in silence. The city is quiet again. They hold each other and kiss under the night sky.